New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
What Would Louise Say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of our streamers, all of our Heal Your Life people everywhere. Today we are celebrating Louise and her legacy. Louise made her transition, passed away on August 30th, and we are celebrating, it's been about 9 years. We are celebrating who Louise was and who she continues to be for us. Every time, hi, Dr. Patricia and Rick, every time someone looks in the mirror and says, I love you, every time someone says their affirmations, every time someone hugs their inner child, that is Louise's legacy. 55 million books sold, translated into 90 languages, 90 languages, 40. I always like to exaggerate.
Close.
I always want to make it more and more and more because it's all exciting. So Dr. Patricia and Rick are the master teachers, trainers, leaders, coaches of the Heal Your Life philosophy workshops. Dr. Patricia was there when she was there creating this alongside Louise. But today we are going to talk about who Louise continues to be for us. Welcome, welcome, Dr. Patricia and Rick.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure to be here with you today and to celebrate Louise's legacy.
Yes, it's so exciting. I love the new copy of Louise's of the 40th anniversary edition. I know that we're going to focus on all of her books, but I always like to remind our audience that is viewing with us now or in the future, please go and purchase that beautiful, lovely 40th anniversary edition. It's magnificent. It's so uplifting. Yes.
Well, and just as a reminder, I think most people know that Louise had a very difficult childhood, a lot of different adventures and difficult ones during her earlier life. And then she found the Center for Spiritual Living, or previously called Science of Mind. She found that philosophy in New York in her late 40s and began studying there, became a practitioner, ultimately a minister, but she never had a church because her world, the world became her church, right?
Yes.
And so it was really an exciting adventure for her. And, we want to look at more of the techniques and things that she did during her life at this time. She was definitely known as an icon in the self-help movement,
Yes,
one
she
of the
was.
originators of it in the modern world, at least. And in the 1976, she published her first little book, Heal Your Body. And there it is. Heal Your Body.
Wasn't it a little blue book? Because
it was a little blue book. It's a bigger blue book now. And I think it's a different color as well now.
Well, it's a whole different thing. The original book was what they call saddle stitch, which means it was paper clipped in the middle. And
yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
A homemade kind of a thing. It was maybe.
Yeah, well, she ordered 5,000 copies, which the printer thought was crazy because it was her first book. But she sent copies to the Science of Mind churches.
Yes, she did. That's where I got my copy. I think I was 18 years old. I've
Mhm,
always loved books. I
mhm,
hadn't gotten her book. I didn't connect her with the blue book when I finally bought You Could Heal Your Life with All the Beautiful Hearts, the heart graphic on it. But
mhm,
I bought that little blue book and I was amazed because it was the dis-ease and the thoughts that were connected to the manifestation
mhm.
of the dis-ease, and then the affirmation that could heal and or help that illness or ailment or dis-ease. It was amazing.
And I found that with my clients, it was about 75 to 80% accurate. Like if I would share, something that physically was going on with them, and then we talked about it and I showed them the book. And you have to be careful. You can't just say, oh, well, I know what's going on with you. You
Yes,
need
you
to be
do.
careful about that. But it was amazing how often they would go, oh my goodness, that's exactly what's going on with me. And one of the people in Rick's and my training, she actually had an experience where she had this epiphany during a meditation about one of those issues that was going on in her body, and it cleared up immediately. And she'd been having the problem for a year.
Wow.
So it's really a great book for reference whenever there's something physical going on, especially.
Exactly. It's really important, beautiful ones, as we have this conversation. In the New Thought movement, or I'll call it the positive thinking self help movement, it's important not to blame. And that's why Louise is so special and
Mhm.
still so special today, because she asks us to love our inner child. If you're going through the appearance of an illness, this is not the time to beat yourself up. What was I thinking? What did I do wrong? It's really about the positive approach. I mean, that's the energy behind everything that Louise wrote was, how are you going to approach it now that it's happened? And this is a general idea of what could be the root, but the universe is mysterious. But what are you going to do now?
Mhm.
What is your approach going to be now? And choose an affirmative, positive, optimistic approach.
Mhm.
That's what's so powerful.
Well, and now going forward several years in the early 80s, she began getting questions about these guys she was living in North Hollywood at the time, and that there was this unusual disease that was happening and killing the people that were her friends. And so that's when the AIDS support group started. And
Wow.
here's a photo of the hayride during the Pride parades that happen every year in Hollywood and a lot of other places too, not just in Hollywood. But this
Wow.
was the hayride that they used to go on, and there's Louise up in the top. She was
Yes.
on the floats. I was actually on one in 1988 after I had met her. She wasn't on the one I was on, but we must have sung "I Love Myself the Way I Am" 50 times as we were
Wow.
as
And
we.
yes, it's a wonderful song. I know all of the Heal Your Life coaches know it, but for those, I think we've sung it in spiritual centers. I
I'm
love
sure.
myself
Yes.
just the way I am. You can find it on YouTube.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
I think what's really of note during that time is the courage that Louise had,
Yes.
because everybody was so afraid of this disease and the people that had it and the stigmas. And she was so courageous in just saying, no, we're going to have a group and we're not going to play Ain't It Awful. And we're going to work on the emotional and spiritual healing.
Yeah.
So some people did heal physically, but the actual focus was on the spiritual and emotional healing.
That's right. That's very, very important because, I mean, when I think of Louise at that time, she really embodied what it is to be a practitioner. And for those who are not in our religious tradition, or it's like a prayer chaplain or a spiritual coach or a spiritual counselor. And that person helps you to identify the limiting beliefs that might be blocking good from appearing in your life. And so, with through prayer, through affirmative prayer, and she was really the embodiment of that. Because when I think back to what a practitioner is, you are supposed to hold the highest vision for your client, for the person who's before you. And she held the vision of health and healing and peace for many people who were going through this, unknown disease. And what courage that took, like you've said, Dr. Patricia.
If I may plug something in here, I think that is very important. Louise took a lot of heat over that, her truly embracing the gay community through the AIDS epidemic. People said that she was giving them false hope, telling them that an affirmation or loving yourself is going to heal their disease. But it doesn't need a defense, but just to explain what that's about, is Louise didn't say heal your body in that case. The book was Heal Your Life. I will show you how to heal your life so that you can live a more satisfying and content life, even with the disease, you would say. And what comes beyond that is what may come. But she was saying she didn't tell people lies. She just loved them and said, you have value, you have worth, and you're just fine. Just the way you are is your happy gay self. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So what it did is it healed their lives and brought their families together, because it allowed them to come out of the closet with pride and say, here I am, Mom and Dad, the way I am, take or leave. And what that did ultimately was brought families together to erase the stigma of being gay.
Yeah, and not only families, but ultimately in these hay rides on Wednesday nights in a gym in West Hollywood, there would be 800 people. And nurses started coming, and social workers, and even some doctors. So she was really sharing this amazing message way beyond the gay community, just because of her courage and her commitment to healing.
So powerful, so powerful.
And I will say, I know you love the cover and everything with the gifted, which is beautiful, but the way that the You Can Heal Your Life book actually came about, that in these groups, the guys were saying, Louise, you need to write down what you know, so we have it in writing and we can use it on a daily basis. And that's actually when she sat down and wrote You Can Heal Your Life. Now, along the way, of course, Oprah Winfrey heard about her and heard about some of the people that were actually physically healing, even though the focus was really on emotional and spiritual healing. And she was on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1989. And the book had done just a little okay for a while. But of course, Oprah held up the initial edition of the book with the rainbow, and it was a bestseller overnight.
My goodness.
Things got really busy at that point. And that's when I had been working with Louise and, with her at the intensives. And that's when she asked me and a few others if we would start teaching her 2-day Love Yourself, Heal Your workshop, because she got too busy. And that evolved into the training.
That's right.
Back to the book. It's, the one that has become so famous worldwide with the 55 million and probably more than that now copies. But also, Louise has a range of things that are her legacy. And we have another photo of just some of those that I took a while ago.
Wow.
A number of the books, mirror work, certainly, Love Your Body. She's got card decks, she's got audios, she's got videos. So we really have a wonderful array of her legacy products, that we can read, etc. And they're all beautiful. They're all heartful. The heart. I love the thoughts book, and there's another one, Meditations to Heal Your Life. So it's all her wisdom put together.
I think I have most of them. I have to be honest. I think I have every single one.
Her greatest legacy is that she taught, and is still doing it through what she's left behind and through her energy, people to love themselves the way they are, no matter what. Maybe they're black or white or yellow or red, or whether they're gay or straight or any of that. But that doesn't matter. Some people are born left-handed. They didn't choose it. Most are born right-handed. I don't say I'm proud to be a left-handed person. I just am a left-handed person. I may not be proud to be a gay person. I'm just a gay person. And that's born left-handed and is right-handed. And she taught it doesn't matter that little piece of you that some people may think are odd. You are a beautiful creation in this world, the way you're created, and you were created that way because that's what needed to happen. So you were fulfilling that piece of your own personal legacy. She was absolutely brilliant with that.
Mm-hmm.
She was
Just
brilliant.
a really short little reading about what she has said on stage and in her books. And she says, I teach one thing and one thing only: love yourself. Until you love yourself, you will never know who you really are, and you won't know what you're really capable of. When you love yourself, you grow up. Love helps you grow beyond your past, beyond pain, beyond fears, beyond ego, and beyond all your small ideas about yourself. Love is what you're made of, and love helps you to be who you really are. So isn't that a beautiful reading?
And if you plug that into what I just said, it is, I love myself, the way the song goes, just the way I am. There's nothing I need to change.
There's nothing. That is such a radical idea.
Right.
It's very radical. As much as I hear it, it can sound so simplistic and Pollyanna, but it is so deeply radical and expansive, because we are so programmed to critique ourselves and just destroy ourselves with the war that can go on in our mind, the battle.
Yeah. And we actually have a picture of Louise with the love, just the love words. So if we can show that, that would be great. That's one of my favorite pictures of her.
Yes.
I think it's a lovely photo.
It's a lovely photo.
So, and she says that loving yourself is the only thing she teaches. It's the foundation, but there certainly were a lot of other techniques. And another foundation is really the spiritual work. And the way that she adapted everything to be adaptable to all the different religions.
Yes. Yeah, she stripped it of a lot of dogma and the ideas of religion. And in doing so, that's the brilliance of her book. Look, you can is that it is non-dogmatic. It doesn't fly in the face of any religious beliefs. So what she did is she took all of this new age, new thought stuff down the years. There were many authors writing about it, and she made it accessible. It doesn't challenge my beliefs, whether I'm Muslim or Jewish or Christian or whatever.
Gnostic, atheist, who cares? Yes. Life loves me. All so these words
completely accessible for all of us. And I love her for that. She, of all the books that have been written on New Thought, Ernest Holmes notwithstanding, and all the rest of them, this one broke through the ice and became the best-selling New Thought book ever. For a reason.
Exactly. She was such a wise woman with her pulse, with her finger on the pulse. As a Libra, I think she was a Libra as well, an air sign, and October. Yes, yes, a Libra is my mom, but Libras are brilliant, and just know how to kind of synthesize and move through all of the jargon, all of the words that if you're not in the group, you wouldn't understand.
And so one of the things that Louise did in the book as well was that she included the quote unquote treatments, the series of affirmations at the beginning and end of each chapter. And something that really impressed me when I met this guy is that he had memorized all of those. And I actually have them all written out so that I don't have to look them up in the book.
How many are there?
Well, there's like 13, I think, 13 or 15, because for all the different chapters. Wow. But I'd like to read just one of them that I think would be lovely for today. But to get those all out of the book, they really are beautiful to remember them. And she always starts out, in the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. The past has no power over me because I am willing to learn and change. I see the past as necessary to bring me to where I am today. I am willing to begin where I am right now to clean the rooms of my mental house. I know it does not matter where I start, so I begin with the smallest and the easiest rooms, and in that way I see results quickly. I am thrilled to be in the middle of this adventure, for I know I will never go through this particular experience again. I am willing to set myself free. all is well in my world. And she always finishes with that, all is well in my world.
That is so profound. It is so beautiful. I remember when I began to read Louise and she said, all is well and I am safe. I had, as a young woman growing up as an immigrant kid, I always had this little anxiety. Would people like me? I had quite a bit of an accent when I first came to this country. So I was always deeply anxious of being accepted. And I think I had to be 18, 19 when I read and all is well and I am safe. And I went, oh, I can declare safe. What? I'm safe. I don't have to not be safe. I'm safe. It was amazing.
Right.
Yeah, the power in those treatments that she wrote in there, and they are treatments, but she doesn't identify them as such, is the beginning and the end. That is acceptance. In the infinity of my life, where I am all is perfect, whole, and complete. Just saying that I can't control everything, but it's all okay. And at the end of it, all is well in my world. So those are both sandwich statements of acceptance of the way things are. And the meat in between the bread of the sandwiches is, here's how I'd like for it to be if I had my choice. And that acceptance gives it a whole lot of horsepower to actually become what it is that you're stating that you see in your life. Bless her heart.
Yeah. And we're always saying, change your thinking, change your life, right? That's one of the basic tenets. We have a slide with that as well. Change your thinking, change your life. And so the treatments included all these affirmations. And Louise has definitely been called the queen of affirmations.
Yes. We have the Saturday Night Live skit of that is so funny of I forget the character.
Yeah, Smalley. What's his name? Smalley, yeah. And he's
Travis Smalley.
With the mirror.
And doggone it, people like me.
So she has thousands and thousands of affirmations, and there's also the Power Thought cards, which I've been doing a short video on every Monday morning. We have one now we can show that says, all is well in my world.
Yay!
My world. So I love these Power Thought cards because they really, are a great way to start the day, or anytime you have an issue that you can just pull one. But online, of course, there are also hundreds of Louise's affirmations on louisehay.com. So I will encourage people to go there and you can download them and see more of the Power Thought cards as well. But that was one of her real gifts as well, is these affirmations. And I certainly have been in person with her at the intensives I was there assisting at, where she would just spontaneously do a treatment or come up with an affirmation for someone and say, well, just how about if you do it this way? Or how about if you say it this way? And she had a gentle way most of the time of really, helping someone reframe the issue that they were going through and coming up with an affirmation that really gave them a feeling of trust and safety, as you were talking about.
Yes. She's given so many people hope. As I sit here and I take in everything that you and Rick are sharing because of your lived experience of having stood next to her, hugged her, worked with her, spoken to her, been a dear friend to her, I'm amazed at all of she conveyed that it was just so okay to be you. That you were safe, all is well, all is well. Oh my goodness. I had a car returned to me because of that. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. That's when I get interviewed. We'll talk about that. But my car was stolen from in front of my house and it came back to me 12 days later. The police to this day were convinced I had lent it to someone because it was in perfect shape. I told no one that it had been stolen. And all I did was say the affirmation, all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Only good can come from the situation, and I am safe. I said it hundreds of times a day. When I was on the verge of tears, I said nothing. People would say, are you okay? And I wanted to say, my car has been stolen. But I said, nope, this or something better.
Reverend Martine, I think if the powers that be would okay it, Patricia and I could interview you on one of these shows so we can hear more about
Yes.
your pathway, because the host, it's not about you, it's about Louise in this case.
Yes.
I would be delighted for Patricia and I to interview you on this
Yay.
program. And that way
It's coming up soon. I think we're going to plan it. That would be great.
Awesome.
So another technique I want to bring in now of Louise's was, of course, mirror work, and another unique technique that absolutely has transformed lives. And having people look in the mirror and say to themselves, "I love you." Oh. It is so confronting the first time people do that. I actually had one of my clients throw the mirror across the room. Fortunately, it didn't break. But it's really confronting, and often people start crying because they realize they're really getting to the heart of themselves, and they haven't been loving themselves. So their inner child is really sad as well. But the mirror work was really such a powerful technique for people. We also have a slide of Louise actually taking someone through mirror work with her heart mirror at one of the short workshops that she did. And again, it was just such a powerful technique to help people really transform and really get deeper into loving themselves, because you can say it in your mind, right? It's easy to do that and easy not to get to the real heart of it, if you will. But when you look in your eyes, it's a whole different story.
When you discover in general what love really is, you discover a diamond mind, because love doesn't demand anything from anybody. It simply is what it is, and it's love. It is not threatening. So many people around the world see it as something that packs a threat. It means that I have to live up to some ideas of whatever in order to be loving. It's not true. When you discover that, when I discovered it, my whole world changed. That is self-discovery in its highest form, knowing that you are loved and that you can love yourself. Then it just beams out from you. When you're in a supermarket, you're talking energy of love.
Yes, it really, it's life-changing.
It is very.
And as you were talking about that show that was on TV so many years ago earlier, one of the hosts took Michael Jordan, the basketball player, through loving yourself on the mirror.
On Saturday Night Live, oh my gosh.
It was either, I'm okay, even when I don't make a basket. And so I had actually taped that show, and Louise had never seen it.
Oh my God.
And so we were together one time. I had it on tape at the time, they tapes, and I put it in the tape in, and she goes, she was, well, I guess I would have really made it if I'm on Saturday Night Live being about.
I said,
yes,
I think you can find it, beloveds. I'm going to go to YouTube and watch it because it has to be there somewhere. It's very, very funny. It's very funny. We have reached just the point in our interview. I'm so excited. We will be back. In a few moments. I'm Rev Martine. This is Dr. Patricia and Rick, who just started it all with Louise as far as the trainings. We'll be right back. This is What Would Louise Say on the New Thought Media Network.
Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk. Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Unity of Garden Park, New Thought Philadelphia, the Sunshine Cathedral, Unity of Savannah, and the Ohm Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network.
The Heal Your Life Workshop Leader and Life Coach Certification Training, approved personally by Louise Hay, is coming to San Diego. Facilitated by expert trainers Anna Milkik and Christy Dixon. This 3-month training includes multiple sessions on Zoom and 10 days in beautiful San Diego. It will change your life and enable you to help others transform their lives.
Imagine a gathering where inspiration becomes action, where spiritual vision becomes a shared future, and where the power of new thought comes alive in community. Join us for New Thought in the Desert 2026, Living the Power of New Thought. We are getting together September 17th through the 20th in Las Vegas. Begin by putting love into action through sacred service. Then experience inspiring speakers and spiritual leaders from Unity, Centers for Spiritual Living, Agape, and beyond, along with powerful conversations, interactive experiences, and a collaborative vision for the future of our movement.
I focus on harmony. How do I live into that?
Celebrate with Faith Rivera in concert. Celebrate, communicate, connect. Together we are living the power of new thought. Join us in Las Vegas. Visit lasvegascsl.org to learn more and register today.
What Would Louise Say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
We are back. I am so excited to be back with Dr. Patricia and Rick, and we are celebrating Louise's anniversary of her transition, August 30th, which was about 9 years ago, and she passed away at 91.
Yeah.
Oh.
91. What a rich life she had. What an amazing life she had. So much she contributed. And, I think it's really important, I love pointing this out, is that when Louise learned this philosophy that changed her life, and not only the science of mind philosophy and the spiritual work, but other, techniques as well. We're going to share one more of those in a moment. But she never had an intention to start out a publishing company.
Never. Yes.
No, her intention was she wanted to reach as many people as possible. And it started out with the workshops and the AIDS support group, and then the one book, and then Hay House got started, and then, so it expanded in ways that she never imagined. Wow. But it was that intention that she had, I want to help so many other people change their lives the way mine has changed. And I think that's important for your listeners and for all of us to remember.
Right.
Start out with the intention.
Yes.
And then things will unfold in miraculous ways. Rick and I never imagined that the Heal Your Life training would go so worldwide.
No.
And it's been people have been trained as workshop leaders in 90 countries in Louise's work. We have 22 trainers, some in English, some in other languages, because her book's been translated so much. But, our intention was to share the work. And that was it. And then it just expanded in ways that we could never have predicted.
Right. I think that I personally have discovered something that Louise, I'm sure, discovered as she got into it. The running a business was getting in the way of what she wanted to create in the world. It was a lovely way to project beautiful ideas in the world, but the functioning of a business was distracting. So thank God for Reed Tracy to come in and take over the business, allowing her to continue to share her heart and not necessarily her mind through writing of books and all the business of that.
Yes.
I'm the same way. I love our teacher community to the depth of my heart, each and every one of them all over the world, and I respect and honor them for extending Louise's legacy in so many languages, in so many ways, in a very heartful and personal way. Not so that you have to read it off of a book in one language or another, but when our trainers and teachers are in front of a group, their heart is there and it goes out. And that's exactly what Louise had. If you look at videos of Louise teaching, she is all heart and all loving and all healing. That's what she came to do. not build a business. But the universe responds to these things in ways that it needs to respond, and provides, if you will, provides everything is necessary to make that happen. So when
Yes.
you read Tracy and says, you got to fire some people, or you're going to be out of business in a few months. You're not. You're spending more than you're making, and business doesn't work like that.
Yes.
And it took
That's
that
so
over
great.
to this global, amazing, new age
Publishing company that with the likes of, Wayne Dyer, Gabrielle, the newer teacher. Yes, Bernstein, and just on we go. Sandra Ann Taylor, who I love. There are just so many amazing. I just met a Kimberly Meredith, who is a medical intuitive. Oh, there's Louise.
So that's the other technique we wanted to talk about as well, is the inner child. That's her hugging a teddy bear, and here's my teddy bear that actually I bought it for Rick, but I kind of usurped it.
My teddy bear kind of guy.
He is. We have teddy bears and huggies and stuff. But the inner child work is so important, and there's of course other books that have been written about the inner child and parenting our inner child. But I think the way that Louise integrates the inner child work with all the other techniques is so unique, and that's one of the things I've said often about her book. It brought together the spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical all together in a way that I'd never read in another book. And so others have pieces of it, but she brought it all together. And the inner child is, again, such a foundation, because so many of us, grew up with criticism and all kinds of negative things that we need to learn to acknowledge the inner child and say, you're doing the best you could and love your inner child.
That's right.
As well as the adult.
That's right. Dr. Patricia, I do have a quick question. Do you know how many of the courses, classes, workshops that Louise taught with you? Was she there for many, many years before she handed it to you and Rick? Do you have an idea? Was she pretty much there when she was teaching the workshops?
Well, I first met her at a breakfast meeting after I already had her book. I got her book 1984 as soon as it came out.
Okay.
But I met her at a small breakfast meeting. It was before the Oprah Winfrey show. There were only about 100 people there. And I talked to her afterwards and got on the mailing list. And she was about 6 months later, she was offering the first week-long intensive she'd ever offered. She had been offering the 2-day Love Yourself, Heal Your Life workshop at many different locations in the U.S. But this was a 1-week thing. And I actually didn't have much money at the time because I was a student, but somehow I manifested it.
Yeah.
So I went to the first intensive. I went to the second one about 6 months later. And one of the people who was assisting got up and said she had affirmed to assist. And I thought, that's a great idea. I've been doing very well with affirmations. Why don't I affirm to be an assistant?
Yes.
Yes, she did ask me to be an assistant. And so I was working with her the next 4 or 5 intensives. And I was also teaching parts of it at the last 2. Wow. And then that's when she was on the Oprah Winfrey show and got so busy and called myself and 3 other of the top assistants teaching the 2-day workshop. But that happened, and then some of the students were saying, this workshop has taken us so much deeper than the book. Can you have a training program? Can you ask Louise for a training program? So I called Louise when I got home, and I said, people want a training program, and she thought about it for about a nanosecond and said, okay, come on down to my house for the weekend, and we'll work on the curriculum and look at how it can be structured. So that's how it started. So I sat with her for the 2-day workshop and also the 10-day study group we actually created together, because she'd had just a small 6-week one that she wasn't real happy with. She said it doesn't have enough heart and enough depth. And so I worked on a 10-week study group, which you know about because you've received them.
Yes.
And, sat with her personally to do that. And then, of course, I met Rick not long after that, and we had lunch with Louise and dinner with Louise and, spent time with her around some of the I Can Do It conferences as well. So there was a lot of interaction in those, especially in those earlier years.
How exciting. How exciting. Having been in her presence twice, and I met her twice on my own, which is wild in the midst of like 500, 1,000 people. The universe aligned that. It's really special being in her presence. And all the love she exudes. I was like, can I hug her? She said, of course, I love you too.
You found her like by herself out in the hallway or something. And
Yes, I
did.
did.
I mean,
I did.
That was amazing, quite honestly.
It was amazing.
How did you discover her, Martine?
I discovered her. I went to I Can Do It. I think Wayne Dyer or Greg Brendan were speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I was falling asleep because I took a bus from Boston to New York, the 2 a.m. bus. I got to New York at 6 o'clock. I walked around. Places are open until the conference began at the Javits Center at 9. By 11, I was falling asleep. And I felt so badly. She had come on during the break and she said, you know, some teachers will say it and you'll go, wow, I get it. And I'll say it and you'll go, I don't know what she's talking about. And so she said, everything is in divine order. I felt so badly. I was falling asleep and I didn't want to miss a moment. But when Louise had said, you know, just take in what the universe has for you. So I said, oh, well, I'll get what I need. Let me go get coffee. Mm-hmm. So it's like a football field. The Javits Center is like a football field. I'm the only one out there. I remember my boots, my high heel boots were clicking. I go to get coffee and the woman's like, you're missing everything. I said, no, I'm going to get what's right for me. Even the cashier was like, what are you doing out here? So I'm holding my coffee, a little cup, and I realize about 10 feet, 12 feet in front of me is Louise, seated all by herself, and I have to go by her. There was only one way. And I thought, I'm very polite. So I thought, don't say anything. But I thought, I can't not say anything to Louise Hay, my icon. And so I stopped and I said, Ms. Hay. I didn't want to say Louise. Ms. Hay. I said, thank you for reminding us that we can think positive. I said something poetic. I kind of structured it in my mind. And I said, may I hug you? And she said, of course. And she looked at me, she hugged me, she kind of held me by my shoulders, and she said, and I love you. And I said, I love you too. And then I thought, if I hadn't been falling asleep, it was perfectly divinely ordered. I would have never met Louise Hay all by myself. Everything is happening for I could not believe it.
It's perfect.
Great picture.
Yes.
A similar story, if I may. I Can Do It conference in San Diego, and Louise wasn't going to speak there. She was going to speak, but she told Reed, I don't want to speak. I just want to be out and around. So we had a whole contingent come in from India, all the way from India, specifically to meet Louise. And Louise wasn't going to be available. And one in particular was really hurt that she couldn't meet Louise after flying from India. And said, well, it is what it is. And so I said, keep your eyes open because she'll be around. Sure enough, during a place where all the breakout sessions were going on and people were in those sessions, so there weren't many in the hallways here. And so this woman and a group of Indians with her came walking by our booth. As it turns out, directly across from our booth was another booth of people selling nutritional foods and stuff. Louise was at that booth. There was nobody around but the people attending that booth. And they came walking by and I saw this woman, and I said, her name was Artie. I said, Artie, stop. She looked at me and said, what? Behind you. She turned around and said, what? She didn't recognize Louise. We don't always recognize celebrities when we see them off stage or off, out of their element.
Yes.
And I said, Louise Hay. She said, oh my God, she started to run over there. Artie, stop. Do not go over there like a teeny bopper groupie and attack her.
Yes.
She is a high-level honored guru. Treat her the way you would treat any guru in India. Go slowly, say hello. She did. And then they had a little conversation because if she attacked Louise and tried to hug her, she'd have backed away.
Yes.
And as it ended, Louise held her hand out to shake Artie's hand. Artie took her hand in both of hers very gently and reached down and kissed her. And her husband went out and got a picture of that.
Oh,
beautiful moment and a lesson in the way you approach somebody like that. You don't approach them with this giddy kind of idea. You approach them with deep respect, which is what you intuitively knew what to do.
I hit it. I felt like I was doing inner cartwheels. I was insane. I hit it well. Oh my goodness.
Well, and something else about Louise, she really did like to have fun. Now, she was an introvert. I know it doesn't seem like it from her being on stage, etc., but there was a photo just a moment ago with her on St. Patrick's Day, just having a good time. And she did. She loved having fun and dancing, and she took up ballroom dancing later in her life.
And painting. She was always doing something new.
Yes. So she really did. She enjoyed fun. And Rick and I were at her art exhibit. This is her famous Buddha painting.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
But at 87 years old, she had an art exhibit with all her paintings for the first time. And that was just, 3.5 years before she passed away. Wow. But fortunately, it was near where Rick and I live. So we were able to go to the art exhibit and see her, get a photo with her, and just really celebrate this woman who had additional achievements, not just all her books, etc., but she loved doing her painting and being creative.
Now, notice how her outfit correlates and matches exactly her favorite painting, Buddha.
Yes. I think what's so exciting about Louise's legacy is that for those, I don't even believe in the word midlife, but for anyone who's over 30 and feels that they're over the hill, she began her purpose, her life purpose and calling in her late 40s, right? At late 40s, the ministry, and then writing the book in her late 50s. And Hay House, I think she says at 60. Mm-hmm. So she had a whole life of just adventure and joy and helping us to all know that we are worthy of our own love and we are worthy of the bountiful good that exists in the universe. But we have to do the inner work. Oh, I love this photo.
This is our favorite one.
Oh, I love this photograph of her. And I know she went on to be on Oprah many times because I saw her when she was on talking about The Secret and how it's not just about visualizing the car. You want to do the deeper work, the inner child work, so that you have joy throughout your life, regardless of what's manifesting.
Yeah, she was on the Oprah Winfrey Show. One of the ones I remember was with Cheryl Richardson.
Yes.
And also another woman who wrote the book, I think, Find Your North Star. I forget her name.
Yes, I forget her name.
They're talking about purpose in life, not, loving yourself and the techniques, but really having your purpose. And that's another thing with affirmations that isn't always brought out, like in The Secret and some of the other ones that deal with the mental rather than the emotional. But the affirmations need to align with your values.
Yes.
They need to align with your values. And if there's some conflict inside about that, it's just not going to manifest.
It's just not going to manifest.
Yeah, until you clear, if there's something you need to clear to get rid of, it's not good enough or I'm not good enough, then that's one step in there. But they really have to align with your values to come across, and manifest fairly quickly.
Yes.
Now, in my case, I did make a purpose or an intention when I was 19, 20 years old to be of service and really had no idea what that meant. But it wasn't until I met Louise in my 40s that I really focused on what was my ultimate purpose.
Yes.
So your purpose as you're going through life, again, Louise starting out with the teaching about change your thinking, change your life, and then taking the classes, etc. She was preparing herself for what was to come, without knowing mentally or affirming that, I'm going to have this big worldwide thing going on,
No, not at all.
It was never what was in her mind. So I think sometimes we need to recognize that right where you are right now is where you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to start.
Yes. I have to, yes, thank you, Rick.
I need to say it's important to understand that you must be aligned on the inside with this vision you have on the outside, or it's in the way of what it is that you want to manifest, whatever that happens to be. And reading the book is helpful. But being in an environment with people, and you know this, Martine,
Yes.
of a
Changed
training
my life.
in a workshop that makes this experiential, seats it deeply within yourself. And when you come out of there, you know that anything is possible. You know that you are loved and that everybody is loved. And so when you go through the process of the training, teach people how to embody these concepts and these ideas and these techniques in a way that works. And you walk away from one of the trainings transformed.
Yes.
It
Completely transformed. I can't say enough about the trainings, whether you're listening internationally or you're here nationally. We have trainings everywhere. We have an incredible training coming up in January of 2027. Seems so far away, but it's around the corner. Is it February? I'm so sorry.
Actually, it starts February 4th on
February
Zoom and
4th.
then goes into the in-person.
That's right. In person in San Diego. If you haven't been there, it is worth the trip. My beautiful circle of Heal Your Life teachers and coaches came from all over the world.
Mhm.
We had a wonderful woman from Saudi Arabia, from the UK, oh my gosh, from Mexico. I just met women from all India, all of my sisters from India, whether they live here or they were going back and forth. It was magnificent.
Mhm.
It literally changed my life. And I believe that as I was experiencing the appearance of cancer, it directed me to really do that inner child work and the forgiveness work. I was in gratitude, I was optimistic and positive, but I had to get to that all that stuff, forgiving parents, forgiving siblings, forgiving the self.
Yeah.
And it was a gift. A
And something
tremendous
that
gift.
Louise modeled, she didn't say it overtly, but what she modeled that I learned was that you create the container of unconditional love. And that is part of the power of those trainings, is that there is this container of unconditional love that nobody has experienced before in their lives for days on end.
That's right.
And
10 days.
It
And we
gives you
were
the
madly
space
in
of-
love with each other.
And it does, and it gives you the space of safety to be
Yes.
able to look more deeply within yourself.
Yes.
It's an incredible experience. I was absolutely so privileged to study with Louise and then conduct those trainings, for many years, and many of them with Rick after we had met.
Well, I miss being there and doing the training.
I know.
No longer we do that. We're running a worldwide business here, so we have others that
Wow.
do it very well.
As we wrap up, Dr. Patricia and Rick, I just have to say for a second, J-Lo recently thanked Louise again for during she was in Las Vegas. She said something about her affirmations. Working with Louise was one of the most significant experiences of her life. So Louise was working with people behind the scene that we couldn't even begin to imagine.
Yeah, she has her in her book called True Love. She discusses how she met with Louise. And actually, Shelley, her assistant at the time, brought her to J-Lo's house. And they had a session privately, so we don't know exactly what went on. But J-Lo writes about it in her book, True Love.
Yes, and talk to Oprah about it. So you can find it online. Okay. So as we wrap up, Dr. Patricia and Rick, what would you like to leave us with on this, auspicious, season of celebrating Louise's life and, and what she leaves for us, her legacy?
Well, the most important thing is just be willing to love yourself. Wherever you are right now, just start to love yourself and immerse yourself in more of Louise's work, because it's readily available online in books and videos. We have a Heal Your Life channel on YouTube that we have all authentic Louise, no AI.
Yes, no AI.
But to start with really loving yourself and then take advantage of, really immersing yourself more in her work to
And
really get it.
I would briefly say, just be the love you wish to see in the world. Don't complain about everything that you don't like. Just be the love you wish to see in the world, and it will explode all around you.
And sign up for our classes. We have workshops happening everywhere. We have the Heal Your Life trainings in many, many countries. We have something coming up in February of next year. We have things internationally. Many of our coaches and teachers and trainers give 2-day workshops. So it's like the embodiment of the book. You get to experience the book live and really align yourself with the principles. Please sign up. It was life-changing for me. I know it will be life-changing for you. We love you, Louise. We love you.
And we love you, Martine, Reverend Martine.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank
I
you.
love everybody supporting this beautiful network that puts nothing but love, joy, peace, and healing. It's a wonderful organization doing great work in the world.
Yes, Dr. Robert.
Behind the scenes is Reverend Michael.
Reverend
Thank you,
Michael.
Reverend Michael.
Exactly. Thank you, Reverend Michael. This is Rev Martine. This is with Dr. Patricia and Rick on the New Thought Media Network and What Would Louise Say? Thank you.
The Heal Your Life Workshop Leader and Life Coach Certification Training, approved personally by Louise Hay, is coming to San Diego. Facilitated by expert trainers Anna Milkick and Christy Dixon. This 3-month training includes multiple sessions on Zoom and 10 days in beautiful San Diego. It will change your life and enable you to help others transform their lives.